To access the payment request form, log into Bobcat Buy and click on the Payment Request button. Once you've opened the payment request, you'll be taken into the instructions screen. Please note that you may navigate to the payment request matrix and the payment request quick reference guide from the instructions screen. The next thing you'll want to note is the form number found at the top left of the screen. The form number is what you'll need to note if you want to search for this in the payment dashboard to find the status of the payment request. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to move on to the next screen. Next, you'll be taken into the Details section. The first thing we'll need to do is update the form name. Note that it is defaulted to the title of the form, which is Payment Request. For this, we want to enter the supplier name and the date as our form name. Once that information is entered, select Next at the bottom right of the screen. Please note that you can jump from section to section by navigating through the links on the left-hand side of the screen, but if you do, you'll need to click Save Progress before going into the next screen. By clicking Next and following sequentially through each of the steps, the system not only takes you to the next screen, but it also saves your progress. We'll click Next at the bottom right of the screen to move forward. Please note as you successfully move from screen to screen, a green success box will pop at the top of your window, letting you know that you have successfully saved your changes. So for our example here, we're going to search for our supplier name. Since that name is not there, that means that this supplier is not a registered supplier. In that situation, we can add our supplier onboarding information at the same time as processing our payment request. In order to do that, we'll select the choice of Not Available. In the event that I had multiple requests for payments, we can also select Payment Request Multiple Suppliers. Please note that this is the only place that this will work. So to follow along with our example, we're going to onboard our new supplier at the same time as processing our payment request. So we'll choose Not Available. Next, we need to select a Remit To address. There is a generic Remit To address that is attached so that you can continue on and have this information processed by supplier maintenance. By selecting Next, we'll be taken into the next screen. The next section pertains to specific questions about this request. First, we need to input the supplier details and then the check request information. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to move forward. The next thing we need to do is select the supplier existence in Bobcat Buy. The instructions above relate to this question. The question asks, do all the suppliers involved in this payment request exist in Bobcat Buy? If we say yes, the single supplier or multiple suppliers are all available in Bobcat Buy. By selecting no, we're stating that we do not have the supplier set up in Bobcat Buy and that some or none of the suppliers in a multiple request exist in Bobcat Buy. Since we chose Not Available and the payee is not here, we'll select No. If I were to select Yes, the following information does not appear. So we'll select No, and now we can upload our supplier onboarding information. In order to attach that information, select the Upload button. Here we'll enter our title and then browse to what we need to upload. If you have multiple documents that need to be uploaded at the same time, please scan them all into one document and upload the singular document here. Select Save Changes, and now my supplier onboarding documentation has been attached. We'll click Next at the bottom right of the screen in order to go on to the next screen. Next, we need to select our payment request type. In the instructions, please note that for payment requests regarding the below transactions, select the Direct Payment Other option. For a payment request type, we're going to select human subject. Next, we need to supply an invoice number. In the event that your supplier did not provide an invoice number, please use the following format: supplier name and date. Next, we need to give this a description and an amount. If we had any specific notes for accounts payable, that could be entered here. Next thing we need to do is add our attachments. So we'll follow the same process that we did for the supplier onboarding information. Click the upload button, give it a title, browse to what we need, and click Save Changes. I can now see that my human subject form has been attached. In order to go to the next screen, we'll click Next at the bottom right. The next screen we'll be taken to is the code section. In order to add that information, select the Edit button to the right of the accounting code field. We'll need to enter our account information. We can also select from all values by clicking the link and searching for that. So we'll search for a code, click Select. Note it does automatically fill it in. If I wanted to split this between multiple codes, I would need to select the Add Split link. Next, I would need to update the information between the accounts that I would like to split this payment. Please note we do have a Show Monetary Calculations link available in the screen. However, it does not work properly here. It does work in other areas in Bobcat Buy. If I need to remove one of the lines of my accounting codes, maybe I only need to code this to one account, I can choose Remove from the section I'd like to remove. It's gone. Select Save in the pop-up window to move forward. Once all of that information is entered, we'll select Next to go on to the next screen. Next, we need to select our natural account code. Again, we can search for this information in the event you don't have it readily available. So we'll search and select that information. Please note, the general information section is for AP use only. Please do not check the OPERS reportable box. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to go forward. Now we're in the Review and Submit section. Before we submit, I would like to point out that the questions section does show as incomplete. This is a known error within Bobcat Buy, and we're working with our supplier to get that corrected. If you look at the left-hand side of the screen, I can see that both the supplier details and the check request information are checked off with the green check, so I know I've completed my questions section and I can move forward. The last thing I need to do is click Submit at the bottom right of the screen, and I will submit the form. You will get a pop-up asking if you're sure you want to submit. We'll say yes. And my form has been submitted.